Hello, everyone. My name is Michelle. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here, welcome. We always like new faces. If you're returning, welcome back. It's so good to see you again. This evening, I thought we would talk about my favorite things to watch, not watch, listen to while I'm diamond painting. I know that I said that I would put that video up yet, for yesterday, and I had great intentions. In fact, I made the video. Um, but we have some new additions to our household. We have kittens, and as such, our older, more established cats are feeling a little less than secure. And so she decided that she needed to be, up on my table, up with me. And she accidentally knocked over my camera setup. And by accidentally, I mean she was rubbing on it, cat. And so I fixed that and uh, got what I thought was realigned. But then when I went to edit the video, I realized that absolutely none of the part of the canvas that I was diamond painting was in frame. So all you heard was me talking while you stared at a part of the canvas that nothing was happening. So I was like, okay, look, this is not going to work. Um, and I need to refilm. So that is what we're doing today. I don't know if it'll be as good or, maybe it'll be better. Who knows? Maybe she did me a favor. Maybe, the other night's video was just complete nonsense and she was saving me and I don't even know it. Okay. But in the meantime, we're going to try again. So I've got my notes. And so I'm going to start with, you know, channels that I turn um, on YouTube that I like to treat as, podcasts and listen to while not necessarily watching. Okay. So one of the sections of videos that I like to watch are minimalist creators. So people like the minimal mom, the frugal fit mom, Dana K. White, those sort of creators. I really, really enjoy listening to what they have to say while not necessarily watching what they're doing. I don't need to watch someone reconfigure a space. I don't need to watch someone um, clean out a drawer. What I do need are the ideas that come from that. So my family has been attempting to minimalize our space for a little over a year, which is easier, said than done. It's like any other journey. It's an effort. And so I do like listening to those creators. It keeps me motivated, it keeps me on track, it keeps me thinking this is something I want to be doing. This is truly a message that I believe in, and that way I don't get discouraged. I don't just go, oh well, I don't need to try. I don't need to do this anymore. And end up back in the position that we were in over a year ago when we started the journey, which was not a bad position, but it just took so much longer to do things like clean our house and put things away and take care of the drudgery kind of tasks that I don't want to spend time on. I want to spend time doing, fun things with my kids. I want to spend time diamond painting. I want to spend time talking to you guys. I don't want to spend time doing laundry and trying to figure out where does this thing, where can it live in my house? Oops. Because, all the space is gone. So, that's a decision we made as a family. I love that we made that decision. I am not trying to push that on anybody, by the way. I very, very firmly believe that it is a decision that needs to be made family by family, and that just because it's the right decision for one family does not mean it's the right decision for a different family. And in fact, my best friend basically was like, "You are so weird." I'm like, I know, I'm good with it. I'm good with being weird. And she just laughs at me, and we go on. And it's not anything that creates a situation for us, because I don't try to tell her, like, hey, I do this, so you should have to do this too. Uh, I 100% tell her the benefits that I've found for my family and offer her those opportunities. But if that's not something that fits her family and her lifestyle, then who am I to sit there and be like, you really should be doing this? Including weird voice I just made, right? So anyway, I do enjoy listening to those. Another creator that I really like to listen to, but not necessarily watch, is How to ADHD. My husband and one of my daughters are both pretty seriously ADHD. They're a little hardcore. And so watching a channel like that really gives me some insight into this is how their mind works. And this is why they do things that they do. And no, when my daughter goes in her room to clean it and then comes out 15 minutes later having this painting that she's like, look what I accomplished. It wasn't defiance. It was, she got in there, saw these projects that she hadn't finished yet, and her brain told her, hey, if you finish these, then you can put that stuff away. That's cleaning up. That's what mom told you to do. So we're going to finish this art project. Is that what I wanted her to do? No, no. Nope. Is that what her brain told her to do? Yeah. So now rather than saying something, as vague as, okay, I need you to go clean your room, I will give her very specific tasks so that she is able to, when those thoughts show up of, oh, I can do these 12 other things, she can actually stop and be like, is that what I was asked to do? The answer is no. You go back to what you were doing. Does it solve all the answers? Absolutely not. Does it help? A lot. And guys, I have fought so much less with my husband since I came to understand how his brain interprets things that I'm saying, or uh, just there's so much. There's so much that goes into it that it never dawned on me was part of it. And he is a very, very successful human being. And he functions so highly at work. And I would get so aggravated because I'm like, you go to work and you're able to do all of these things and you're so smart and, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure you guys have had the same fights, right? I'm like, then you come home and you can't manage to like do, you know, anything from point A to point Z, like finishing a task or what have you. And I know you guys have probably heard about like letdown in terms of like kids coming home from school and they've had to be so on point all day that they come home and kind of have these like breakdowns and they cry and they throw fits and you get this little this terror of a human being because you're their safe space and they don't have to be on point with you all the time. Well, it's that same concept, even for an adult, especially one who has, this high need to function at work. They come home and that's safe space. And they can let go of some of that. And unfortunately, as a spouse, you take I shouldn't say the brunt of some of that, but that's kind of how it feels like sometimes, where it's like, why am I being punished? And it's not punishment, it's you're safe for them. And now that I've started looking at it as being a opportunity to allow him to have that chance to come down and not have to function in a way that his brain, it's hard for him, and I give him that space to feel safe enough to mess up. um I don't mind so much that he gets distracted in the middle of a task and wanders off and does something else, because I can, is it really that big of a deal for me to holler at him and be like, hey babe, I need you to finish putting the food away before you go do whatever? Because he's the type of person that is 100% going to be like, oh, okay, and do it and be glad that he feels like he could help me by putting the food away before he wanders off to go do something else. And you know if I can give that to him, why wouldn't I want to give that to him? So all of that was to say, I really like the how to ADHD. Oops, I just inadvertently pulled on that. Okay, I think I got it back in frame. I really, really like the how to ADHD channel. So if you have anyone in your life whose brain functions a little bit differently than your own and you are struggling with them, I highly recommend listening to that channel. Also, it's done wonders to help me connect with my students at school who also, come to school with a lot of these same things going on. And it allows me to connect with them and be like, hey, okay, I've got you. I understand what this is like. I've seen it. Like, let's try these things. So there is that, right? And then a completely random channel that I absolutely love is Emily D. Baker. She is an attorney who retired from the prosecutor's office in LA. She and her husband moved to the South. He's a dentist. I don't know why that's one of those things that just is weird to me, but it is. He's a dentist. And she now does pop culture commentary for like court cases that you see that involve pop culture. She does legal commentary on her channel, and it is fascinating. Like she covered the Johnny Depp trial, or the defamation case that Johnny Depp had. She covers like the Toddy Westbrook case, things like that. She's covered a lot of like the Alec Baldwin and the Russ trial. So she spends, some pretty intense time covering court cases that people are interested in hearing about. And I don't listen to all of her videos because there's some of it, like in all honesty, I don't even know who Toddy Westbrook is. So do I care that there's this lawsuit? I don't know what it's about. So if that's her title, like if she's like, hey, I'm talking about this person today, I don't tune in. If I don't know who the people are, I don't tune in. But that's okay too. You know, there are, quite a few cases that she covers that I do find really interesting. And she has the best ASMR voice. Like it is fantastic. She is amazing in that way. So not only is her, legal coverage on point and entertaining and all kinds of just interesting, her voice is soothing. One second, please, guys. No, no. The kitty is not the only person in our house struggling with the addition of the kittens. Our dog is also, well, one of our dogs is also struggling with the kittens being here because they're doing, kitteny things. And he's over here like, we're not allowed to do that, and you're doing that, and that's not okay, and you need to stop. And he is nannying them. There we go. I think I said it right. Anyway, he is getting on to them. uh you know to the point that it's like, man, you have to let up. Like, kitten's gonna kitten. We got this. We'll do the parenting. So he's cracking me up over here. um oh, he knows I'm talking about him, y'all. He is over there having a conference with the other dog. Like, they are just staring at each other. I know they're over there like talking smack about us for bringing these cats in the house. It is cracking me up. They look like they are like a CEO and a CFO of a company that's like going under, having it this meeting. It is hilarious. I wish I could had the type of camera set up where I could just sort of like move it over there and let you see them and move it back. Okay, sorry, I digress. So that is my YouTubes. Okay. Uh, Now let's move on to novels. So I am an English teacher. I have a horrendously long list of novels, but I'm going to limit this to like the couple of series that I'm super into right now. If you are in need of book series or things to listen to or whatever, feel free to leave me a comment and we can message back and forth or whatever. And I will do a much more in-depth like, hey, have you tried this series? But for the sake of this not being a 9-hour video, we're just gonna limit it to the couple of series that I'm like super into right now. So the first one being the Alex Delaware series by Jonathan Kellerman. I love this series. He is Alex Delaware is a child psychologist whose best friend is a homicide detective in the LA area. And his best friend's name is Milo Sturgis. Milo, started out just asking Alex for advice, like, hey, we've got this weird, psychological angle to this case. Like, do you have any insights? And it kind of became, then Alex started working as a consultant to the LAPD, but really only for like Milo. And as the series progressed, it's like I don't know that Milo takes a case that he doesn't bring Alex in on. Kellerman will occasionally hint that like, oh, like we haven't talked in weeks, and murders have gone down in LA in weeks. So theoretically, there are cases that you know Sturgis does that he doesn't call Delaware in on. But for the sake of the book series, like obviously we only read about the cases that Alex is part of because it's kind of the main dude. But they're a phenomenal read. They're a lot of fun, and I really really enjoy them. The first novel in the series is When the Bough Breaks. The series started, I want to say, like 20 years ago. There are an insane amount of these novels out at this point, and Kellerman is still producing about one a year. And at this point, you'd think that they would get super formulaic. And don't get me wrong, they are a little formulaic, but not to the extent that you would think that they would be, you know, 20 years into a series. So I've got to give the man credit for being able to stay fresh after that long a period of writing. So there is that. And then another series that I'm really, really into, just kind of on my own, is the Dave Gurney series by John Verdon. So, How did I miss those two up there? Hey, hey, I have the right ones right in front of me. Okay. Sorry. I talk to myself a lot when I do this. Anyway, so John Burden um, is no, that's the author. Dave Gurney. I'm gonna get a drink, y'all. It's late and I'm tired. Dave Gurney retired from the NYPD. He was also a homicide detective. I really like murder mysteries and sci-fi, although there's no sci-fi on this list right now. Anyway, and he and his wife moved to upstate New York. When he retired, his wife, wanted to kind of get out of the city. She thought it would provide them an opportunity to be a little bit more of a family as opposed to two people who just sort of exist in the same, New York City apartment. And but you can't really turn off the life of a homicide detective like that. So when things happen that, need to be detected, he detects. And his wife does not always appreciate this. He does end up having some run ins with, some serial killers, and he makes some friends along the way. One of his friends cracks me up. Um, and I am so sorry. There's a fly that is super attracted to my ring light, and I really, really want to smack it because it keeps like kind of buzzing around my head. But also, I'm like, if I do, I'm really afraid that I'm gonna like accidentally hit my camera and cause it to fly across the room. And I don't want to film this video a third time. Like I would legitimately just have to come on here and be like, guys, I'm not talking about anything. I'm done. Um sorry. Sorry. I'm doing it again. What is up with me tonight? I promise that this is me. Like I have notes. Guys, I have notes. Like look, I have notes and I cannot stay on track. Um anyway, back to Dave Gurney. So he ends up it, it's good. I am not doing this series justice because my little hamster is like it will not stay on its track. It just won't do it. I went up to work today and set up my classroom, and my brain is getting back into school mode, and I am like I'm all over the place right now. So we're just gonna move on. But please take my word for it when I tell you that this is a good series. Uh, okay, we're gonna finish out. You're sitting there like, oh, thank God we're finishing. We're gonna finish with books that are not a series, but are by the same author. So there is a German author. His name is Sebastian Fitznick, and he writes psychological thrillers. Not all of his work has been translated into English, but the books that have been are absolutely phenomenal, guys. Like, when I tell you that I have probably read easily like 10,000 novels in my lifetime, I am not lying. Like I read a lot. And when I tell you that this guy blew my mind, I am telling you, he blew my mind. The plot twists are phenomenal. The characters are so well fleshed out. The writing is just like it is amazing. Like you root for the characters, you love them, you hate them. Like he is so good. And I hesitate to even tell you anything about any of the novels because other than the little blurb that you get on the back of the books, I feel like if I tell you anything else, it's like I'm taking away from the experience for you. So I don't want to do that. Um, the two books of his that I have read that seem to be most popular on like Audible are Therapy and The Child. So those are the two that I'm going to put out there for you to like choose. I will warn you, they are psychological thrillers. They can they can get pretty in depth with some pretty uncomfortable topics sometimes. So definitely read the blurbs, see if Therapy I apologize is definitely the less controversial of the two. The Child delves pretty deeply into some topics that can be um, really triggering. So, I just like warning, okay? But you know, if you read the blurb and you're like, okay, I get it, I'm good with this, I've got this, and it's something that you want to read, I guarantee you will not be disappointed. And on that note, guys, I'm gonna quit. And I'd love to say I'm gonna quit while I'm ahead, but I am pretty sure I am not ahead of anything. Like I'm just gonna quit. If you enjoyed listening to my super random ramblings this evening, please do the YouTubey things. Like, share, subscribe, comment, give me a thumbs up. All those, all the YouTubes, all of them. Just do the whole YouTube, and that will help me out a lot getting me out there so that other people can enjoy my weird random ramblings. I am filming some unboxing of some older kits that I've gotten through destashing. So those will come out, kind of in between other, videos, just because I don't want to put up like 82 unboxing videos in a row. Like that that gets boring. I get it. So those will just kind of come out randomly in between other stuff as, as life happens. Okay? Guys, I want you to be sure that you have the day that you deserve, and I will see you on the flip side.